Angry, 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 Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 Aussie. 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 Angry, 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 angry.
Okay. Stupid thing. Oofed. Hopefully, there's sound now. Stupid thing decided to change its mind on what was the actual microphone. Man, there's just a little bit of that new vermouth. And there's a citrus note in my freezer martini. My warm-up drink for this evening. A freezer martini. And I gotta open some bottles that arrived that I haven't even tasted yet. Something to look forward to. It's Tuesday. I probably don't want to get too drunk on a Tuesday. I don't have any meetings tomorrow at this point, so I don't have to deal with other people if I'm feeling slightly the worse for wear. But I still, don't want to get really drunk on a Tuesday night. Have a drinky or two. Taste test the new ones. Warm up with a martini. Man, the ever-changing profile of the Infinity Freezer Martini. Put different gins and different vermouths in different flavors, of course. It must be the new vermouth, which is a vermouth that has citrus elements, is making the martini very citrusy, which is actually taking me by surprise because it was a very small amount of that vermouth in a big bottle, and it appears to be having an outsized influence, which is weird because I made just a single stirred martini with that vermouth and I didn't think it was overpoweringly citrus. Strange times we live in. Maybe I need to put a contrasty gin in. I don't even know if I'm almost through a gin I can finish off. We'll see. We shall see what goes in next. In no rush to do that. I'll probably have another martini of this mix on Thursday and then top it up with something. the old brain needs to turn over for a bit and decide what is going to go in. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. The ratbags and rapscallions greet you and say cheers. Man, that martini is really interesting. Yes, the good whiskey. Haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it live on stream. Love the Archie Rose boxes. They used to open up in a gatefold. It's really sturdy boxes. I feel really guilty throwing them out, but I have no use for them. Very neat boxes, though. Put them away. So, yes, we were talking about the story of this on a previous stream. Accident is said to be the greatest of inventors. When Cellarhand, Mr. Good, mistakenly fatted Archie Rose rye malt and single malt whiskies together, we happily found it to be true. Marriage of malts is therefore proof that serendipity can have good whiskey. The idea that the guy accidentally blended several hundred litres of whiskies that were meant to stay apart and that could have been ruined, could have been a very expensive mistake. Oh, okay. So you still have the ones that open down the front. So these limited ones, was it? Trials and exceptions. So experimental whiskies, basically, of which I now have several. They open at the top, and the other bottles still have the sort of gatefold opening, which I think is kind of neat. But again, just in terms of craft, these boxes are exceptional. I feel ever so guilty chucking them in recycling. But not to put too fine a point on it, I buy more than one Archie Rose product, so I would have a stupid amount of those boxes if I didn't chuck them. I think, where's the... Oh, there's the seam. I was looking for the dotted lines on the plastic seal. So I can open the seal on this bottle. I'm honestly not having a good time of it. Come on, you can do it. Oh, man. Why is this messing with me? Okay, not really meant to do that, but it's going to serve practical purpose. Got the plastic seal off. Oh, nice, Kirsten. You did make them fully recyclable. I'm happy to hear this. Celtic King, hello. It's just, look, the only reason I knew they were recyclable. The only reason I feel guilty is just in terms of crafting, these are exceptional. They're just like really sturdy and so well made. As I've referenced, particularly with your core range ones where it's sort of connected magnetically and opens up like a little gate. As I've said repeatedly, if you could go back in time, couple hundred years, you could present it to the crowned heads of Europe and they would be astounded. It would be a piece of artistry that to their minds was pretty much magic. Kirsten, you had a big move removing soft plastic from bottle supply. Okay. I'm not altogether sure what that means, but it's obviously good. Celtic King, ADSy, you probably saw me post a picture on the socials. Actually got to hang out with ADSy, not this last weekend, the weekend before. and which very much boosted his morale, getting to hang out with the gang. I still have the lingering effects of a cold, which I think I got going out that weekend. Not blaming that on AZ because I went out 3 times to different venues that had a lot of people in them. And then, a cold started coming on about Wednesday last week. And so I think it was on Thursday I got tested for le COVID because Mrs. Angry had noticed a place that advertised it didn't just test you for COVID, it also tested for influenza. So I did that, and I tested negative for COVID and 3 strains of influenza. So it's a cold. So what do you got, Justin? You think there are Arabic-speaking men in your house building you a wardrobe? Cool. I'm not great with construction stuff. Like Dr. Abigail helped on the weekend when we put together stuff for young Mr. Angry's party. We had an outdoor heater that was not difficult to put together, but I was just looking at it going, Dr. Abigail says, you want me to do it? This is my jam. And yep. And then we moved on to the marquee, which was much more involved, but we got it done. So, yeah. I think I have to surreptitiously blow my nose. A little bit snotty, this stupid cold. I'll be circumspect, do it off camera. It's not really gross snotty, at least not at the moment. It's watery. Just had to wipe it. Oh, yeah. I thought that's what you meant, Heine. Sorry. Hello, Heine, I meant. Justin, I thought that's what you meant. You hide them off air, Tasker. Good plan. Oh. So, and young Mr. Angry also lucked into, for this time of year, very nice weather on Saturday for his party. Because, even the day after, we noted a light breeze. The plastic tarp walls of the marquee were starting to come loose. They're just like Velcroed in place. Even a light breeze was buffeting it. So the fact that it was very still on Saturday, well, I guess it was payback. This was his 1 year delayed 21st birthday. He had it all planned for this time last year. And then, of course, COVID lockdowns. So he had it this year. Celtic King, I have very limited words in other languages. But c'est la vie, as the French say. Like, I learned how to count to 10 in Spanish from watching Sesame Street as a kid. I know words and phrases in various languages, but nothing approaching conversation. So, which is okay. It's probably my 2 biggest regrets in life, and they're kind of interconnected. One is not learning any other languages, which of course I could still do. I'm just super fucking lazy and I don't want to. And the other one is not traveling when I was younger. I missed an enormous number of opportunities by not traveling internationally or even around Australia when I was younger. I really regret that. Celtic King, want to learn Portuguese? That's an excellent idea. I think you should do it. If you have an interest or a practical use for it, go for it. Or if you just want to do it for fun, I say do it. Excellent choice. Actually, probably another regret is not learning a musical instrument. I'd love to be able to play a musical instrument. So, Was it in my way? Regrets I've had again, but then again, too few to mention. Not true, because I just mentioned them. Justin, you know how to swear in Korean as a result of having attended international schools as a kid. That's what everyone learns in foreign languages, learns how to swear. I mean, it was my ex who was born in the Philippines, so I made sure to learn a few compliments in Tagalog, which is the dominant native language in the Philippines. It's actually a huge number. There are like so many islands that make up the Philippines. There are quite a few different languages there, as in native languages. So a lot of English speakers and Spanish speakers there too, from the time of being a Spanish colony and being an American colony in all but law. So funny, the Spanish-American War. The Americans liberated the Philippines from the Spanish, and the Filipinos went, "Yay, we're liberated!" And the Americans went, "Not so fast." Well, that's handy. Celtic King, the Norwegian word for fuck is fuck. There you go. Heine, Saturday stream with the party. Yeah, that was something. That was definitely something. Oof, something. Yeah, what are you going to do? Young people, am I right? But went off largely without a hitch. Young Mr. Angry has a very good bunch of friends, very well behaved. One or two hiccups during the night, but nothing drastic. And I mean, I was worked most cruelly over the course of the night. I made 8 pizzas, like freezer pizzas from the supermarket. Big thing of party pies and sausage rolls, 2 boxes of chicken tendies. I think that was everything. And bloody young people and their metabolism, and they could just keep eating so many pizzas, so many hot snacky foods. Yeah, well, Celtic King, if you do end up watching that, yeah, some colourful characters, notably young Grace, who was dressed as Britney Spears, and on semi-regular intervals took over the stream, essentially. And she had a few drinkies as the night progressed, basically. That type of party. Pugwash, you're having summer solstice. You're having your longest day. Oh yeah, young Mr. Angry absolutely tells someone to fuck off. He had to. There was some guy in the sort of group they were hanging out in who was being gross and sleazy to a girl in the group, and she had said she didn't like it, and he wouldn't stop. And young Mr. Angry goes, "Hey, you need to stop it." It's okay. You can't be here. You can't be here. You can't come around. You're being an asshole. Fuck off. Very proud of him for that. All right. I am going to tell you something. I think I need to wash my mouth out with water to cleanse my palate. I've got martini palate. All right. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go to town. First, some water in this to cleanse my. Oh, come on, sunshine. To cleanse my palate with some chilled water. Because I'm a professional. Ready to go. Pugwash. I don't know what the Boris Pinocchio story is. I know Boris is a fucking liar. Uh, okay, Heine. Wait, what? YouTube am I on here? Okay. I was doing the hover over the. It's not working. It's not important. Not important. Boris had an op on his nose. Okay. Okay. Now, so first taste of the. I thought it was in a brown bottle for a second. It's not. It's just, of course, being whiskey, a brown liquor. Ooh, okay. Let's put a bit in here. Nice open glass. Gonna let it breathe. I get the aroma happening. What do we got on the nose? Okay, sort of warm caramel. Caramel toffee sort of smell. Very, very nice. Like that's not even, sometimes when you, oh, it is a brown bottle. Also, is it? Looks kind of clear from here. Yeah, but what is that? It's almost leather. Sometimes when you inhale spirits, it like burns your nostrils. This does not burn the nostrils. Yeah, it's like that really nice leather smell of like a new leather jacket. Colors technically smoke. Oh, of the bottle. Oh yeah, I get it. I can see it's not a completely clear bottle. It'll probably become more obvious as the whiskey goes down a bit. But, oh, that's almost buttery. You can tell it's got rye in it. It's got a little bit of that rye heat. Oh, it's like literally like butterscotch. It's yeah. It's got this. I don't normally get that from whiskey. It's got this really buttery mouthfeel. It's yummy. So pugwash, I'm not sure what you mean by homegrown must be cheaper for me. Okay, yes, so Mr. Good did good with his accidental mixing of single malt and rye malts. I'm going to put a bit of ice in it. See what difference that makes to the flavour. All right. Change the temp. Dilute it a little bit. It's becoming the whole team's daily drinker. Well, it's pretty goddamn nice. Not necessarily tonight, but I think I'll do a big taste comparison. I'll get at least 4 of my 12 or so whiskeys and taste them side by side. Oh, okay. So, pugwash. The local spirits are not cheap because it's taxed quite highly here anyway. But also, they're smaller distillers. They don't have the mass production. What's that called? Economies of scale. So local stuff it starts at about twice as much as imported stuff. Like, so your base spirits, your Jack Daniels, your Gordon's gin, all those things, they're $40 or $50 depending where you get them. So those sort of base spirits, $40 or $50, and independent spirits, Australian made spirits, the entry level stuff is in the $80 to $100 mark. And so yes, so your more expensive, your flashy imported spirits are $80 to $100 and up, and your flashy independent Australian spirits are $120 to $150 and up. So the stuff made in Australian independent distillers is actually more expensive than the mass-produced stuff with the big international brands. That's just an economies of scale thing. My goodness. Okay, with a bit of water on ice, the rye's coming through more strongly. If you've ever had rye whiskey, if you know how rye whiskey is different to other grain whiskies, there's sort of almost spiciness to it. Wow. It's actually sharpened the taste a bit. I'm definitely going to make an old-fashioned with this now. Yes, pugwash. Alcohol is very expensive here. Even in real terms, probably certainly twice what Americans pay. Icy Saracen, hello. Drinking new bottles that arrived. I ordered online for one of my favorite distilleries, Archie Rose. This is one of their one-off limited edition whiskies, a blend of single malt and rye malt whiskey. 46% alcohol by volume. Very easy to drink. I suppose that's not a huge amount. Like your standard whiskies are 40%. So it's all gone really late. Like I can still taste it in my mouth. There's almost a dark chocolate, sort of bitter dark chocolate flavor still in my mouth. God damn, that's good. I'm definitely making an old fashioned with that. So that's how I like to try out my whiskey. Again, whiskey purists probably fucking hate that my main reason for getting whiskeys is to make cocktails with them. But when I get a new one, I like to try it neat, just at room temperature, and then put it on a little bit of ice to see what that does to the flavor, and then have it in a cocktail, usually an old fashioned, because that's classy. Icy Saracen, psychedelic night. That I feel like I would be very distracted if I were on psychedelics. Just throwing it out there. Nice, Kirsten. Dark chalk flavor, kind of Archie Rose signature. So pugwash, a liter of Jack Daniels, Tesco, £25. Okay. I don't even know what the exchange rate here is. So it's going to be, I think £25 is going to be at 60. Okay, actually, exchange rate. Let's go. AUD to pound 0.57. So Okay, so 25 pounds to, oh, actually, that's only $44. Okay, so that is what we'd pay for 750 mils. That's what we'd pay for 750 mils of Jack Daniels. So that is notably cheaper. So yeah, you're getting a third more for the same price. Actually, I'll double check. If we go our biggest alcohol seller. Oh, they've actually got a leader. Okay. Direct comparison. Yeah. Okay. So if you're a member, you're getting a discount. Yeah. So I was basically right. A 700 ml Jack Daniel is basically the exact amount you're paying for a liter. A liter Jack Daniels, normal price $72. Members get it for $67, $5 off. Woohoo! So yeah, my guess was right. You're paying for a liter what we pay for 700 mils. So there you go. And that is partly, it's expensive to ship stuff to Australia, the bottles and stuff, mostly excise, the tax on alcohol. So Pugwash, you got the supermarket's got 70 centilitres for 26 pounds. Yeah, well, people don't always price match. But I've seen weird things here where larger containers end up being cheaper than smaller containers. There's soft drinks as well. That's the way it goes. All right. I can't be bothered being fussy. I think I'm going to just build an old-fashioned in the glass. I mean, honestly, I could probably make... This is a pretty neat glass for an old-fashioned, actually. I might do that. Ah, Kirsten with the inside knowledge. They ship the Jack Daniels in huge goon bags and bottle it here. Well, that makes sense. That's going to save them a lot of money. All right. I think this holds enough volume to make an old-fashioned. Yeah? Put a little bit of ice in there. I'll put a bit more once I put all the ingredients in, but I think that's big enough. Right, just got to get my jigger because I'm not one of these wild, crazy free pour types. I measure my drinks. I like to know how much I'm drinking. I'm even got. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna give myself a garnish. I get a peeler. I've got an orange here. Where's my peeler? Where's my peeler? There it is. Oh shit. In with the sharp knives, and one of them tried to attack me. All right, got an orange. I forgot to get a skewer for my cherry because I'm going the whole way. Right. Now I have to. Oh, I did get a skewer. I'm an idiot. Okay. Bitters. Oh, the Angostura is just there. What's this? Crabapple syrup. This one. The dark syrup. Okay. This should work. Pugwash, who switched to SodaStream. I do both. I have like SodaStream machines and whatnot. Okay, so it's actually in tankers with plastic bladders. Yes. Yes, I didn't think it was literal goon bags. I got that it was coming in, not glass. All right. Sure, this holds a lot more than 2 ounces. Let's see how much I put in. Oh, yeah. Goodness me. And again. Oh, God, got that out of my system, maybe. A little bit of dark sugar syrup and some bitters. Where did I put the bitters? It's there. Okay. It's a funny little glass to do an old-fashioned in. All right. Where's my stirring finger? I'm going to top it up with more ice. Mixy, mixy, mixy. Get a little clinky, clinky ASMR. Usually dangerously close to spilling it while I mix. Did that mix properly? Yeah, it looks like it. All right, I'll put a bit more ice in now that I've mixed it. That's probably enough. Very, very unusual way to serve an old fashioned. Not how I'd normally serve it. But it's gone really dark. I mean, it was very brown to start with, but I used it quite dark sugar syrup in here to sweeten it, so it's very dark now. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's good. That's a coconut syrup that I've made it with. It's blending with those chocolate notes really well. I think if I do it again, I'll use one of my lighter sugar syrups and see. I'm not going to do it again tonight. I think use one of my, but next time maybe use one of my lighter sugar syrups and see how different that is, because this coconut one is quite a dark, heavy syrup. Nice flavor though. Yum. Oh, it's like a dessert I've had. It was brown sugar and burnt butter. I'm getting like almost no alcohol burn, which is ridiculous. It's just really sweet and gentle. Oh yes, pugwash. It is much quieter here. I assume you're referring to Saturday night. God, as predicted, that was like the loosest live stream I'd had in a while. All in all, contained, managed, but yeah, loud, a bit overwhelming and confusing. It helped a lot that I had Dr. Abigail here for moral support. I'm very grateful that she volunteered to give more. I didn't put any garnish in here. That's okay. I'm not going to now. It's too late. Well, it's not too late. I'm just not going to do it. Wait, I know I'm going to, because Mrs. Angry will miss it if I don't. She uses the garnish in her hot chocolate the next morning. Put some orange peel. I always think I'm going to cut myself with this peeler. And that's because I have cut myself with it in the past. Fucking hurts too. Oh yeah, orange. This will just put that in there. And I'm going to put a cherry in. Wait, that's not been opened. This is the opened one. Why is the opened one further away from me? That doesn't make sense. Shazam, y'all. All right. I'm a classy motherfucker. In as you see this glassy labeled absinthe. Came in like a gift pack with a bottle of absinthe I bought ages ago. Don't think I've ever drunk absinthe in it. I'm not sure. But yes, my cherry and orange peel garnish. It's even better with the orange in there. Oh man, that's really good. Pugwash, bought your wife a rotato. Is that the thing that cuts a spiral into the potato and then you can stretch it out and you roast that? Because those are pretty fucking good. Or is it just the thing that you peel the potato by rotating it around? I could see both of those things being called a rotato. Ah, it's the thing that cuts it into a spiral? Yeah, and then you fry it. I fucking love those, man. You get them at events sometimes. The whole potato that's been cut into a spiral and put in a skewer, and then you deep fry and season that. Fucking yummy. Or no, it's a peeler. Are you saying it's a peeler? You put the potato on there and wind it, and it peels the potato, which is fine. Young Ms. Angry made mashed potato today, and she peeled all the potato, and it was just the potato peel was all in a tub. And Mrs. Angry went, I was going to put this in compost, but might season it and bake it and turn it into little chips. So she did that. She seasoned these potato peels and then baked them in the oven on low heat. It was incredible. They were like leaves in the end. As you find out that a potato peel is 90% water, because when we dry it out in the oven, it's like paper thin and really crispy. And she used various herbs and spices over the top, and it's very yummy. It's like there was nothing to them. You just put them in your mouth and go crunch, 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 and they were gone. But it was a fun little side thing. Hi, Safa. How are you doing? Chips are always good, mate. Cheers to you and your chips. Yum. So the molasses-like sugar syrup has gone very well with the molasses-like taste of the whiskey. Hey, Chris. How you doing? Better for you being here, pal. I'm in a much more relaxed mode. I'm not as sort of tired and sore-throated as I was on Sunday night. I've had 2 good nights' sleep since then. Still have cold symptoms, still a bit stuffy. My throat's still a bit funny. So soldiering on, as the case may be. Kirsten about to make chip nutty. Or did you mean chip butty? And ends next to B on the keyboard. I am, for those who don't know, it's a chip sandwich. I am also a fan of and excited by chip sandwiches. So what I had for dinner is I got the mashed potato, and then there were the herbs and spices that Mrs. Angry had covered in the potato skin, and there was a lot left on the baking powder, and that was all sort of crisp baked, even burnt a little, but lots of flavor. And I mixed in that toasted herbs and spices with the mashed potato, and then I topped that with bacon and cheese and baked it in the oven. Hell good. Really good. Chris, what was your heck of a doctor's appointment about? I mean, this is just a cold. It's no biggie. This is a second cold I've had since the start of COVID. So it's like, second cold in 2.5 years. That's not bad. I had COVID as well, of course, a couple months ago. It's what I, tried to take positives out of what was a very stressful time. And one positive is I fucking love working from home. But second, just not being around people, so not getting sick. I normally would have, had a couple of colds a year just from being around people all the goddamn time. This is only my second one, so pretty goddamn good, honestly. So as I try to take positives out of a shitty situation, and COVID is definitely a shitty situation. But, deal with it as much as I can. And I've had it so much easier than so many people. It's been incredibly difficult for a lot of people for a whole bunch of different reasons. It's hardly been a walk in the park for me, but there's been lots of aspects of it I really quite liked. Neat. Chris, you got a better diagnosis for your respiratory disease. Not as bad as chronic bronchitis. Need to lose 80 pounds. Being put on heavy depression meds, I assume you mean. But he says you'd survive COVID as long as you get boosted yearly. Okay, well, that's positive. Yes, Bugwash. People. What a bunch of bastards. Yum, yum. Okay. I still want to, at some point, I could just do it to myself, but I thought it would be fun to do it with someone like Dr. Abigail as well. Get 4 or 5 really different whiskies from my collection and pour out little shots of them, like not entire shots, like sips basically, and then do blind tastings and try and identify which is which. And this is like whiskeys that are really different, that logic would suggest I should be able to tell which was which, and I'm willing to bet I will not pick it at all. Chris, I bet you're relieved. I'm relieved for you, man. That is good news. Sip of fruit punch. That's always good. I am going to have a sip of the other bottle I got delivered. Gin punch. Spiced gin punch, in fact. I got this, for fun, and because it's like, they're saying it's kind of like mulled gin. You can have it hot or cold. I'm just going to have it cold tonight. But I think another night I might warm it up. Might even compare it to my mulled wine I made on Saturday night, which was really good. I still have some of that. I was very happy with how my mulled wine came out. Hey, Strictly See Ya, how you doing? So Pugwash, Jim Beam Taste Difference, Jack Daniel for about 6 measures. Yeah, absolutely, man. If you're drinking a lot of it, it's all going to blur. But look, honestly, I think I would tell the difference between Jim Beam or Jack Daniels and an Australian whiskey, because the Australian whiskies are prepared quite differently to bourbon. I'll put myself to the test at some point, because I have one bourbon. It's actually a California bourbon, of all things. I'm thinking... Actually, I've got a Texas single malt, which is a very bold flavor. I'm thinking peated Scotch, at least one American whiskey, either the bourbon or the Texas single malt, probably the Texas single malt actually, and then two quite different Australian ones, probably one from Starwood and one from Archie Rose, and then try and blind taste and place them, and I bet I can't. Chris, reactive airway disease, RAD, which can be taken care of. We can take care of the new have to carry at all times inhaler. Dang. Pubs will often do like Coke and Jack Daniels or Coke and Jim Beam or something. Strictly Sagi have carried a puffer since prep. Yeah, I've had friends who have to carry puffers, for life-saving reasons. If they are without it, they might inadvertently die. Oh yeah, cans. Yeah, no, the premix cans are actually really popular here. Yes. Strictly Sega used to use it to get out of class. Like chicks use beers to get. I had one friend in high school who was diabetic and like needed insulin injections, and he would fuck around with teachers, particularly like doing the PE teacher. He'd just go, "I have to stop now and eat this sugary biscuit," and the teacher's like, "What?" Because I could die if I don't. And the teacher never knew if he was fucking with him or not. Half the time he was fucking with him. And the other thing he liked to do would be to actually inject insulin, like in the shopping mall in town. And we were in a small town. Just sit there, get his insulin, and sort of freak out the normies. Ah, yes, Kirsten, who works at Archie Rose, they make great. Yeah, you make premix cans. That's right. I've seen the premix cans. I tend to go for the whole bottles. I've had a few Archie Rose premix cocktails, but yeah, the premix cans, the gin and tonic, and there's a couple of them. So, Chris, if you get a bad whiff of smoke, overheat your lungs from exercise, start hacking. Yeah, inhalers really work, man. Like, I am, broadly speaking, bad at the words for describing tastes in spirits and whatnot. But not that it's particularly sweet. I mean, it is actually, but not that it's not like sugar sweet. But this whiskey really reminds me of a dessert I've had, and as I said before, it's like is burnt butter and brown sugar. Man, it's good. It's good, is what I'm saying. It's good. Of course, Chris. What would I get apart from the bottles? I am actually running out of space. I got to stop buying bottles. B, empty some bottles. Pugwash, your wife used to teach an Asperger kid, randomly shouted minge in class. Yeah, twitches for people with various conditions, sometimes physical twitches, sometimes verbal twitches. God damn, that's nice. See, Chris, all I buy now are limited editions. It's just that my favorite distilleries keep putting out limited editions. Like, I was really controlled for a while, and then a few things come out, and I was like, "Fuck! I really want to get that." Fuck. Strictly Sagi, your puff is like a cheat code for COVID. When you couldn't cough something up, whack on the puffer, laughing. Steam in the shower. Oh God, dude, this morning, because I got this cold. Yes, hot shower really helped oxygen. But I kind of woke up. I was in the bathroom, and I was at the bathroom sink, and I did the thing of just and blowing it. One from each nostril, huge snot oysters just in the sink, and I go, okay, that was disgusting. Wash that down the sink. But yeah, I really like hot showers for clearing out sinuses and lungs. Oh man, that was really good. I'll have to think of something else to make with this. Maybe a Sazerac, because I've actually got a new cognac. I do a Sazerac on Thursday. Not making another strong drink tonight, but maybe on Thursday. Pugwash think I should park a tanker outside. No, I just need to be a bit more responsible. Actually, I think I've got a couple spaces on there. I'm probably fine. Yeah, no, I mean, push comes to shove, I can make room. I'll be fine. I got these 2 bottles yesterday, and I'm expecting another 2 bottles this week. Chris, I mean, really, I need to win Lotto and buy my own house and have a bar area set up. Then I'd be fucking right. Strictly saying, any boxing themed drinks? Could always theme a drink around boxing. Oh, nice. Safi had his sister around. That's good. Ooh, Kirsten, Spice Gin Punch Fever Tree Ginger Beer is delicious. Okay, I have 1 bottle of the Fever Tree Spiced Orange Ginger Ale left. I was thinking of just having this on ice tonight, actually, just to taste it. Chris, the only reason I don't build a bar is this is rental. I mean, I guess I could get like a very big rack there, get a very big rack and pile it up with drinks. I don't know. But what do you think? I've got plenty wall space for bottle racks. Maybe I do. Family's actually pretty supportive, Chris, so they're pretty good. Right. You know what? In fact, I might even I was going to put it in something else. I might not even rinse this glass out. Just that little bit of old fashioned thing with my spiced gin punch. Satisfying pop. A little bit of cocktail ASMR. I just poured that in there. Ooh, it's a beautiful color. Kirsten, you should buy more bookcases. You put me to shame. Chris, you are a kind of bad influence. Probably will get me in trouble. Michael, I am improved. I'm not completely better. Throat's still a bit funny, still a bit snotty. I was lethargic a lot of today. I still, I got work done, which is good. I was supposed to present something today, and that got postponed because a lot of people because it was a management thing, and a lot of people weren't there. Apparently, one of the office buildings got evacuated. Don't know what that's about. Oh, Pugwash. Kirsten puts bottles on them. Trust me. Kirsten has more gin bottles than I have bottles altogether. I'm definitely going to have. Okay, I'm definitely going to have this warmed up, as like molded gin punch. But it's got these really tart fruit flavors in there. What's in here? Where are we? Spiced cocktail inspired by Australian harvest featuring Archie Rose lemon-scented gum gin harvest 2021, sweet vermouth, star anise, cinnamon, blood orange, ginger. Hot damn. Chris, I also hate being sick. Yes, it means nothing to me that an office evacuated. I don't know if I'll be all better tomorrow again. I hope I'm improved tomorrow. I don't have any meetings scheduled tomorrow, so I can just fucking pace myself and do some shit because there's some shit I got to do. Yeah, I'm also getting what you're saying, Kirsten, about this pre-mixed cocktail with ginger beer or ginger ale. I'm seeing that in my future, either on Thursday or Friday. Man, maybe I'll make that mold. Oh, Mrs. Angry will probably maybe I'll put a couple measures of this and the spiced orange ginger ale from Fever Tree in a saucepan and warm it up. Hot damn. So was that, Michael? Should try warm spiced gin as a tip for some buttered toast. That is a wild idea. Wild idea. And I'm on board with it. I see, Kirsten, you had friends who were bartenders over and they almost lost their mind. I've told the story about the young lady working at the Bitters Lab, and she was showing me her parents who owned the place, the collection of shit they had at home, which was just wild. And I said, yeah, I've got a few things there. How much have I go? I've got like 100 bottles, and then and you're not in the industry. I went, no, you're not in the industry, and you've got 100 bottles. What the fuck? So yes. So Kirsten, again, I talked to my boss about this at work. Well, my boss wants me to be permanent, but the bureaucracy is grinding slowly, and she's like, "Well, make up your mind, because really don't want to lose him. Either extend his contract or offer him a permanent role." We got one more week, basically. My contract's up next week. Worst case scenario, which is unlikely, but the worst case scenario is I don't stay there because they would be losing a lot of experience if they lost me. But worst case scenario, I'll just go out in the job market and I might, have a short break and then get a job that pays more than I'm getting. And I'm getting paid reasonably well now. But I have looked and there are jobs paying more, like 20% more than what I'm getting now. So, it's not that bad a deal. And yes, Pugwash, worst case scenario, I have all these bottles to console me. Michael, you don't drink much, but you make a spiced rum chocolate with nuts and fruit in it. My man, that sounds fucking amazing. That sounds like you're a man of discernment and taste with that. Actually, speaking of rums, I finally bought some of this stuff that had been advertised to me on Facebook for ages, called Bulletproof Spirit. It's an Australian white cane spirit, which is unaged rum. It doesn't meet the definition of rum because it's not aged, but it's a white cane spirit and it's 76% alcohol. So, experiments ahoy. I'm going to use some of it to make liqueurs. I'm probably going to make at least 2 liqueurs. I haven't decided absolutely, but probably 1 banana rum liqueur and 1 coconut rum liqueur. I might do a pineapple. I don't know. And the other one, as an experiment, is going to go in the barrel for a while to pick up a bit of color and flavor. And then I may or may not dilute it. It's kind of good to have a flavorful 150 proof rum around for cocktails, because then you just put a little bit of it in the cocktail to beef it up. I have a commercial 150 proof rum from Queensland, which is mostly gone. So I think if I get this one in the mail, I'm actually getting 2 bottles of it. And like I said, one of them is going to be to make some liqueurs. The other one I might keep at full strength. I have not decided yet. Safa, is solstice spooky? Okay, well, solstice was an excuse for a party, get drunk, get high, and fuck. That's what I love about pagan festivals. It's all about, oh, something's happened. Let's get high and drunk and fuck. So the winter solstice, you could celebrate. That is our longest night. Every day gets a little long from here. We are moving away from the cold and towards the seasons of sunshine and bounty. Whereas summer solstice, the longest day, you can just celebrate the beneficence of, nature giving us our longest day. So solstice was just an excuse for a party. Also, I was always impressed with older societies' ability to track events like that. Like, they eventually realized, wait, this shit happens in cycles. And they worked out how to track it. And this was all around the world. All different societies worked this out. It's like when you get stupid motherfuckers who point out there were societies in completely different, completely isolated from each other parts of the world, but they all had pyramids or ziggurats, and they go, oh, there must be something happening. It's like aliens. Aliens came down and taught everyone how to build these pyramid shapes, these ziggurat shapes. And it's like, no, you dense motherfucker. Through trial and error, humans worked out that's how you build a big pile of rocks that won't fall down. It's just like anyone who leaps to that, oh, it was aliens, is either a charlatan or just a fucking idiot. Because it's trying to create complexity and mystery where the truth is relatively straightforward. Like, people given enough time will experiment and work out a structure that is stable and will stay in place for a long time. Safa, a ziggurat is like a step pyramid. You know how the Egyptian pyramids look kind of smooth? They're not really. They go in steps, but from a little distance removed, they look quite smooth. A ziggurat is the ones, and you get these in Asia and South America, and I think India is part of Asia. You get, and they're very pronounced steps. So a ziggurat is a step pyramid. But the fact these exist around the world is not evidence of aliens. It's evidence that humans are pretty clever, and give them enough time and they'll work out, this is how you make a big pile of rocks that won't fall over. It's literally that straightforward. So hello, Mimsy. You weird friggin' cat. It's like she's about to get fed something. She gets increasingly more sort of desperate and strident in the lead up to getting something, rather than calming the fuck down and just accepting that she's about to get anything, she acts more and more agitated in the lead up to getting something, which is stupid, Mimsy. Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
I just shut the door and trapped the tail in it.
Well, she deserved it. Oh, by the way, I had a hot tip from Kirsten. This, the spiced rum gin punch, is good with ginger beer. And so I was thinking later in the week you might try it. Still got one bottle of that Fever Tree spiced orange ginger ale. Might mix it up and warm it up in a saucepan for a mulled winter warming drink. You might like to try a little bit of it later in the week. Well, that's the hot tip for later in the week in the Angry household. Mulled drinks. I've still got some of my mulled wine I made on Saturday nights in the fridge at the moment. Haven't decided if I will drink that cold or warm it up again. But it's kind of like if I... Okay, so what percent alcohol is this? So it's 10 standard drinks. Okay, so it's 18.22%. So my thinking of how much I was going to dilute it with ginger ale, it's probably going to end up being a less than 10% alcohol. I think my mulled wine is actually much less than 10% alcohol. But, you know, and that's nice because it's a really flavorful drink, comparatively low alcohol content. So, you know, you can drink a couple without getting absolutely sheet-faced. Icy Saracen. I have 2 absinthes over there. I have a Spanish one, Jacques Sano, which is 80% alcohol. That's the one where I just put a little bit in a drink to kick it up. But I got a limited edition Australian absinthe from a South Australian distillery I like, which is Never Never. Sorry, I blanked on the name. I had to see the bottle. The Never Never distillery. They do some great limited editions, and they did an absinthe that's lower alcohol. It's 55 or 60% alcohol. It's friggin' amazing. Like, it's so drinkable. Like my 80% one, maybe I'm a wuss, but that's not something I sit around sipping because it's really intense. But a little bit of it in a mixed drink to kick up the drink, that's really good. But the Never Never absinthe, which is, I think, a limited edition that's already sold out, so, you know, can't get any more, very good. Very drinkable. I made a couple drinks with it. Super yummy. Oh, wow. Icy Saracen. Rakija, Slavic Moonshine. That sounds awesome. The trouble with sending alcohol into Australia, it gets stopped by customs, and then they either never let it out or want me to pay a small fortune in duty on it. So I super friggin' appreciate the sentiment, but unfortunately, Australian customs would have issues, which, you know, it's because they suck. I have a few different moonshines, actually. I have one from a New South Wales distillery. They distilled some beer, basically. But again, most distilled spirits, the base that it's made from is basically beer. Your first wave is to ferment grain, so it's basically beer. but there's usually a couple reasons it wouldn't really be drinkable as beer, and then they distill that. These guys literally at the start of COVID, the Byron Bay Distillery, they were friends with a boutique beer maker who just made all this beer, but then all the pubs were shut and they were like, fuck, we can't sell this beer. What'll we do? And their initial idea was to make some hand sanitizer because that was a big thing at the time. But they went like, nah, fuck it, let's get creative. And they made an unaged spirit out of it, aka moonshine. They call it Pacific Moonshine. And although it's more like it's like unaged whiskey, moonshine, it a lot of the aroma and taste is very reminiscent of rums, white rums. It's very yummy. I'm on my second bottle. Actually, I don't think I opened the second bottle. I finished one bottle and they still had some in stock, so I got another one. I don't think I've even opened that bottle. I think it's just on the shelf waiting to be opened. But in terms of unaged spirit, yeah, I've got some new make spirit there, which I aged in my barrel for a couple months, and it's quite nice. New make spirit, that's the first cut of whiskey, so that's moonshine basically. Kind of high end moonshine, but moonshine nevertheless. So, and then I aged it in my barrel for a couple of months, so it picked up a bit of color and flavor from that, and it's quite nice. Maybe I should use it when I do a taste test of different spirits. Put in my new make spirit, see if I can taste the difference. Man, I love these Luxardo cherries. They're so fucking good. Oh my God, that's good. So yummy. Should put a little bit of ice in here, which will melt and keep the orange peel moist. That means it's saying we can use it in a hot chocolate in the morning. All right. Ugh. Well, I have an idea. I'm going to do it another night. I'm not doing it tonight. Got to combine a couple things I have here. All right. I'll show them to you. I shall show you. Okay. So there's this. This is like a version of a mason jar, but it's in the shape of a skull. Got a little jar lid on it with a hole for a straw. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is make a cocktail in here, and I'll get this thing, my smoke UFO, put it on top. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. It's going to Oh, this is really annoying. I probably looked so stupid. Okay, I think it's gone. Okay. Put some wood chips or herbs in this. Get a blowtorch. Oh, God. Okay. Actually, I'm not sure it'll work. I think it'll work. And so smoke goes down into the cocktail, and then I'll take it off, put this back on, put a straw in, and then the smoke will be trapped in there, and it'll be like a skull with smoke. I think that'll actually be pretty cool. We'll see. I mean, I might do that later in the week. Might try and record it for a cocktail video, actually. Oh, I need some water. I think I'll just use my martini glass to get some water. I can't be bothered going and getting out of glass. And the martini glass holds a bit of volume. Yeah. And then it looks like I'm drinking another really dry martini anyway. Cheers, y'all. Oh, I needed that. Bit of Wasser. Oh, okay. So, tasty treats from Archie Rose. And sometime in the next couple of days, hopefully I'll get it for either Thursday night or Friday night. 2 more bottles from the Starwood Distillery. A gin, a barrel-aged gin, and a whiskey that was finished in apple brandy casks. They both sounded really good, and I couldn't resist getting them. So that will be something for another night. Thursday or Friday night, hopefully have those for tasting. Ugh. And then I have to stop buying bottles for a while. Because I don't actually, it's the joke, like people see all the bottles, you must be an alcoholic. Like, no, alcoholics don't have collections. Alcoholics buy a bottle or several bottles and they drink the bottle or several bottles and they're gone. Alcoholics don't have collections. And in fact, I don't get through bottles very quickly. And so if I get this impulse that's like, oh, it's a limited edition, I want to get it, and I get it, then it's like, oh, I've run out of space to store stuff. So I've to stop buying stuff. So hopefully none of my favorite distilleries release any more limited editions that seem irresistible. Let's see. No, this. Sorry, that was gross. I'm just trying to make this sneeze appear that didn't want to appear. Speaking of Mimsy, what are you doing? You think there's more food for you on the ground? I do not think there is. Wait, what's this business card? Tiny Bear Distillery. I got a voucher for a half-price gin and tonic. I haven't been to the distillery there for a little while. It's not that far away. It's like a half-hour drive. Where is it? Fern Tree Gully Road, Scoresby. Now I'm just compelled. Wow. Why the fuck does it think I'm at 51 Jean-Baptiste Lahore, Rivière Salée, France? Because I'm not. Right. So I want to go to 1333. What the fuck? Fucking hell, seriously? Fern Tree Gully Road in Scoresby. Okay, yeah, half an hour. So yes, Tiny Bear Distillery is half an hour away from me. Half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. Yeah, pugwash. Alcoholics only collect empties. They don't collect full bottles. Alcoholics find full bottles to be anathema. Yes, I pretend I'm sophisticated. definitely. Oh, so yes, but I've got to start buying bottles because I'm going to run out of space, and don't really think any of the bottles are nearly empty because I'm getting another gin and another whiskey. So I need to look and go, is there a whiskey bottle that's nearly empty? Is there a gin bottle that's nearly empty? I could maybe empty them, aka drink them, and then have a bit of space. I mean, the other alternative, I don't think if I had a couple of bottles that were low-ish, I could mix them and have like an infinity bottle, my own blend. And I don't know that I want to do that because the bottles aren't particularly low. In fact, most of them are more than half full, I think. Like if I go over here and look. Jim Tay, you know Rakija. Okay. Okay. No, that's got a lot in it. That's got a lot in it. That's got a lot in it. Okay, that does not have so much in it. Starwood Unexpeded. Maybe I could finish that. That's my new make. That's got a lot in it. It's another Starwood Tawny. That's got a lot in it. It's got a lot in it. What's in this one? That's Solera. It's got a lot in it. Jesus. Which one's that? Whiskey Gone Awry. Okay. For whatever reason, all my whiskey bottles, apart from one, are more than half full. Jesus. Okay. Whatever. Suffer, I do put bottles on top of the fridge, quite honestly. Oh, yes. Pugwash, the idea of an infinity bottle. And this is particularly with whiskies and to a lesser extent rums and gins. But there's a belief that the less that's in the bottle, like the more air's in there, so it's more likely to oxidize. So it doesn't go off as such, but a lot of people say it does lose a lot of the flavors that are what you like about the spirit. So the answer for if you have drunk down a bottle till there's only a bit left is either invite some friends around to finish off the bottle, or take the bottles, if you have multiple bottles that are like a quarter or less full, and blend them. And then as that goes down, you pour a bit more from another bottle in. It becomes an infinity bottle. So its character is constantly changing. My only infinity bottle at the moment is my freezer martini. It's got, fuck knows, it's probably got at least a dozen gins in it at the moment. Or there's been a dozen gins added to it at various times, and at least 4 vermouths, maybe 5 or 6 vermouths. So it's a real fucking hybrid, the Infinity Freezer Martini. I did have an Infinity whiskey bottle at one point because I had like 4 or 5 bottles that had a little bit in them. So I blended them all in one bottle. I thought it was nice. And then I turned that into a bottled old fashioned. So I added sugar and bitters, and that was super fucking nice. And I drank that. I have a blended bottled old fashioned still. I think it's got 6 whiskeys in it. And then I barrel aged that. I have still in the barrel a rum old fashioned, which again I think has 5 or 6 rums. I'd have to go and look up the video I made when I was making it to remember how many rums are in there. It was like 5 or 6. And it was tasting pretty good at the weekend. I think I'm going to decant the barrel-aged rum old-fashioned on the weekend because I think it's going to be pretty goddamn good. There's also some vodka barrel aging, which might stay there for a while yet. I think it's been there about 2 months now. But because it's, pretty bland to start with, I think for a bit. Sorry, I'm just going to do that. So Mrs. Angry has a bit of an interesting flavour for her hot chocolate in the morning. Safa, that would be very kind of you, volunteering to finish off bottles. Jim, you have a bottle of Palinka that's 60%. What nationality is Palinka? Sounds like you know the European spirits quite well, the lesser known European spirits. But yeah, I mean, you can do... Jim, it's Hungarian. Nice, thank you. You can do infinity cocktails, which like I'm doing with a martini in the freezer. You could kind of do it with any cocktail. You just top it up as you drink it. Maybe that's a way to go. Maybe I should do that. I've been doing old fashioned. Maybe I should do like a Manhattan or something. And maybe I could mix up sort of rums. Oh, okay. This idea is percolating in my head. Do what's basically a Manhattan, but really experiment with what I top up with, like different whiskeys, and then do at least some occasionally wacky stuff like a rum instead of a whiskey, and maybe play with like a lot of the recipes they have in New Orleans drinks where they will add a herbal liqueur, a little bit of absinthe, maybe a little bit of green chartreuse, a bit of Benedictine, and have it be okay. This is going to be a thing. I feel like this is going to be a thing. Yeah, I think this is going to be my next thing. An infinity sort of boozy Manhattan, New Orleans style cocktail. Yep, I'm liking this idea. It's formulated in my head. I'm liking the sound of it. Yeah, Jim, that's a fair approximation. The Slavs are great at turning any fruit into medication. A medicinal tonic, aka a liqueur, or even a spirit in some cases. Kev, mate, on Twitch, I have not tried Campfire Bundy rum. Is that a special thing you do by a campfire, or is that a particular blend of Bundy they do? Because for those who don't know, Bundaberg rum is probably the oldest spirit, like the oldest continuously produced spirit in Australia, made in the cane fields of Queensland. And your bog standard Bundy rum red label, particularly the underproof, is kind of regarded as a shit spirit, a bogan spirit, but they know what they're doing. The higher end Bundaberg rums is really fucking good. Okay, so Kevin, mate, winter blend, burnt butterscotch macadamia. Sounds friggin' amazing. Tastes like Christmas. Basically like a cookie. Okay, now I'm looking it up. I'm not familiar with this. So, Campfire and Berg rum. It auto-completed. What is this? There you go. Bundaberg Campfire Butterscotch Macadamia Rum. $50 dues. Okay. That is sounding interesting. All right, but dude, that is sounding interesting. So what is this? That does sound interesting. It's interesting because, okay, it's sold out everywhere. Might be able to get it online. I was seeing it online. Dude, it sounds pretty fucking amazing. Yeah, because it's funny. As I was saying, the standard Bundaberg rum is regarded as like shit. But you know, the distillery's been there for ages. It's not the oldest. I think the oldest distillery is also in Queensland. It's another rum distillery. It's where my 150 proof rum comes from, Inner Circle. It's the Beechworth distillery. Their rums are pretty good too. But yeah, Bundaberg non-bog standard is they actually make good rums. But that one sounds interesting. Burnt butterscotch macadamia winter blend. Hot damn. That also sounds like you could make a good actual sort of mulled rum with it. Man, that sounds pretty good. Thanks, Kev. I was unfamiliar with that one. Sorry, just a bit of food came out from between my teeth. I was just looking at Dan Murphy's. What do they have in the Bundaberg range? They have that's Bundaberg. Okay, so Bundaberg underproof 1.125 liters for $57.95. Okay, yeah, like that's shit. Winter Series Campfire Rum. New. Available. Dang. So what are the details in this? Product specifications. That's 37% alcohol, so they haven't lowered the alcohol much. Dark Bundaberg rum, burnt caramel, butterscotch flavors, balanced by nutty smoothness, comes from fire roasted macadamias, chilling winter nights around a warm fire. Hot damn. Dude, I might have to get this. Might have to get this. Dan Murphy's are saying they've got it. God damn. All right. Geez, thanks for the tip, dude. Thank you for the tip. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. I'm going to drink a bit more water before bedtime. Plus side, I'm going to bed sober. And this is lubricating my throat a bit. Downside, I might have to get up in the middle of the night and pee. That's okay, though. Oh, yum. Yeah. Okay. But I think bloody decided the next bottle I make an infinity bottle of a New Orleans style drink. Jim. Water goes good with raquija. Kev, I'm not sure how soon I'll get it, but it sounds freaking good. And if I see it, I think definitely if I see it on a shelf, I'll probably get it. But also, if I have reason to order something online and that's also available, when there's a reason for me to order something else, I might get both. Yeah, Jim, the water and peeing is a vicious cycle. And I've said before, this is one of the reasons that I reject the concept of intelligent design, because having to pee and shit particularly, terrible way to get rid of waste we don't consume. We should be able to exude it through our breath or through our pores, because there are species that do that. So yes, pissing and shitting as a mean of evacuating waste from our bodies is bad. It is a substandard design. Yes, Jim, having to get up in the middle of when you're sleeping in winter, definitely not good. Definitely don't like it. Kev, they do premix with the cola. Oh yeah. No. Yeah, no. That sounds like I wouldn't do it with cola. I might I reckon if I wasn't just going to drink it as it was, I'd experiment with a few cocktail styles. Like literally probably toy with an old fashioned. Honestly, I'd probably have it with soda before I had it with Coke. But yeah, toy with some rum cocktails where you would normally use dark rum, and do this really flavored rum instead. I think that has potential. It sounds really good. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for it. Like I said, I've got to stop buying bottles at the moment, so probably won't be going to Dan's in the immediate future. But you never know. This plan to do another bottled cocktail, a New Orleans style one that would be a blend of rum and whiskey and sweet vermouth and some herbal liqueurs, absinthe, green chartreuse, Benedictine, the whole thing. Heidi ho, Nettie, how are you doing? Pugwash. I might do a double thing because I'm thinking of my initial thought for making this bottled cocktail is not barrel aged, but I could do a second one barrel aged. And yes, nobody, look, you and Nettie arriving at the same time. You beat me to it. G'day, mate. Yeah, Jim, it's not unheard of to drink rum with dairy. I mean, honestly, I'd probably do it with coconut milk rather than actual dairy milk, but it's not unheard of. Oh yeah, shit. I was even thinking that butterscotch macadamia bundy in a pina colada. So you'd get like a nutty, sweet, dark pina colada. Man, that sounds like that would be okay, quite honestly. That sounds like something I could get on board with. And yeah, Jim, you could do it almond milk. I'd do coconut milk. Yes, you get the points, nobody. What have you missed? Just been chilling out. And Dr. Abigail coming in. Howdy, hey. Chronic fatigued. Slept for 5 hours. Sleep schedule. So yeah, you're probably not getting any more sleep tonight, which fucking sucks. No, buddy, you basically missed me taste testing new Archie Rose bottles that arrived yesterday. This whiskey, which has a really fun backstory, the guy working in the distillery accidentally mixed their single malt whiskey with their rye malt whiskey, which could have ruined it. And Kirsten tells me it was like 300 liters. So that's like a really, really, really fucking expensive mistake. But then they tasted it and said, that's actually really nice. And in fact, look, I'm just going to do another little tasty taste before bedtime. And the other one I got is one of their bottled cocktails, a spiced gin punch. This is designed to be had either cold, which I had, and it's nice, or heated up like a mulled cocktail, which I'm going to do later in the week. Also, Kirsten said with ginger beer, and I have Viva Tree spiced orange ginger ale. I'm thinking of doing a mulled thing later in the week with this and the Fever Tree spiced orange ginger ale, because I think that will be yum. But that's for later in the week. So this whiskey, oh my God, like it doesn't burn at all. It's 46% alcohol. Oh, it's cinnamon. It's like that dark chocolate that has the slightly bitter thing, brown sugar, molasses, and it's even got this buttery. It just reminds me of desserts. It reminds me of desserts, which is wild for a whiskey. Oh, it's fucking good. It is really fucking good. Dr. Abigail, not yet recovered from Saturday night. It was pretty fucking taxing. Saturday was pretty fucking taxing. Nettie, yes. Brittany was getting home. She and the young lady she was snogging with were both waiting for an Uber out front at the end of the night. And I didn't hear from them again, so I assume they're okay. I think Brittany left her vape pen here and possibly also her cardie. But, young Miss Rango's going to look after that. And yeah, nobody. So it's slightly higher proof, but there's like no alcohol burn at all, which is amazing. And I'm a bit of a wuss with alcohol burn. Oh, and as I was saying before, when I tasted it, it even has this, it's reminiscent, like the aroma and the taste is reminiscent of new leather, which again is possibly an incredibly weird tasting note. What do they say? What's their thing with tasting notes? Because I think, as I've said many times, I'm super bad with tasting notes. So the mash bill, barley, kale, peated amber, caramel, roasted chocolate malt, rye, pale malted rye, heritage rye, choc malted heritage rye. That's the whole chocolate thing. Full product notes. Okay, I might look on the website then. Yeah, pugwash. So yeah, I also have not tasted leather. I'm not saying it tastes like leather, There's like an aroma and a feel that reminds me of like a new leather jacket. I don't think leather tastes nice. Okay, so no, that's not what I fucking wanted. Okay, so I'm sure they have good descriptions here. Limited releases. Good whiskey. Okay, so the story, and I love the story that goes with it. When cellar hand, now distiller, Mr. Good, accidentally vatted our single malt and rye malt whiskey together, he was crestfallen. Mixture of the two whiskies meant the spirit could neither be single malt nor rye malt whiskey anymore. Curiosity to see what serendipitous concoction might taste like drove master distiller Dave Willers and senior blender David Fisher to grab a glass and inspect this spirit themselves. On nosing and tasting the spirit, it was found the two whiskies offered the expressive oak of the rye with the charismatic flavors of roasted malts. It was pronounced the hybrid whiskey was good, and that the mistake of the still good should be memorialized with release. To ensure we could share the serendipitous folly of Mr. Good further, we decided to add a few more barrels of single malt, rye malt to the blend, finessing the flavour, ensuring we can tell more whiskey lovers the beauty of the thing. There aren't tasting notes. Oh, it's vegan though, which is interesting. But yeah, for me, there's chocolate, there's brown sugar, definitely this sort of butter flavor in there. And the rye, for people who know rye whiskey, there's this kind of spiciness. The more rye is in a whiskey as opposed to corn or wheat or barley, rye has this kind of spiciness, and that's in there. But yeah, it's all in quite good. So I think later in the week, I might include this in a, oh my God, just weird random noises from Mimsy. I don't even know if the microphone picked that up. Yeah, so I think later in the week, I might do a comparative tasting. I might include this. In fact, for that matter, I may have the new Starward whiskey here later in the week as well. So who knows? I might just be getting shit-faced on whiskey later in the week. But yes, I think I'm also going to do an Infinity New Orleans style cocktail. Oh, nice. See, Justin, with the Australian dollar falling, if your dad sends you US dollary dues for your birthday, it's worth so much more. But again, we are at a precarious point globally, the financial systems, with inflation increasing, various share markets cratering, crypto fucking collapsing like the fucking scam it is. But I said that I have a friend who was mad for crypto earlier in the year when it was at its high point. I was going, but surely, this is a blip and it's going to, and he's going like, oh, it's long term, it'll go up. So trying to pick the lows. I was fucking right. I was so fucking right. 6 months ago, I said it's not going to maintain this. It's going to go down. 6 months later, it's lost 70%. All the cryptos lost fucking 70%. Oh yes, that was that fun period, Justin, when Aussie dollar was only about 50 US cents. That was wild. Pugwash a few months ago, stepson said in crypto, told him to sell it quick. Yeah, it was either a month ago, it's either sell it quick or do not sell it, hold on to it, and hope the crypto market does not completely and utterly collapse, which we are now looking at as a distinct possibility. It might bounce back years into the future, but Jesus Christ, it's taken a pasting for the last 6 months. It's just woof, yowza. But I don't try and predict the future. That's a mug's game. Will crypto disappear completely? I don't think so, but I'm also, you absolutely should not be taking financial advice from me, basically. And yes, I'm not saying this as financial advice. I'm just going like, is crypto going to disappear completely? I don't think so. Will it make back these losses? Maybe. That's way less sure. You look at its history, it suggests it might, unless it really is a Ponzi scheme, and this is like the final sort of Jenga tile being pulled out from under it. Yes, Pugwash, it's pub talk. We're just doing pub talk. This is not financial advice. Anyone who would make financial decisions based on my ramblings is a goddamn idiot, and probably deserves the terrible consequence that would befall them. Justin, you're going, buy it when it's really low, put a small amount. Well, even though really low, it's only the price it was 2 years ago. And it's just that it went up heaps and then went back down. But it's done that multiple times over the last 10 years. So maybe it goes up in the future. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this, like I said, maybe this is the final. Oh no, it is actually a scam, and now it's going to go away forever. I absolutely do not know. I definitely do not know. And it's just very, very strange. The whole thing is very strange. I'll go out on a limb and say NFTs are bullshit. The whole NFT market, that is absolutely a fucking money laundering scam. Do not, my brothers in Christ, get into NFTs. That way, madness lies. That is absolute fucking bullshit. It's just like, crypto's bullshit. But then again, so's the stock market. So's the legitimate stock market. So's the currency market. Capitalism is bullshit. Capitalism is just a consensual hallucination that only exists because everyone agrees that it exists. International trade, international currency exchange only happens because everyone agrees to some extent to believe the same delusion. If people stop believing the delusion, fiat currency becomes worthless, because fiat currency, as in the currency that countries use, is essentially meaningless. It's conceptual. But yes. Justin, the very short answer about money in crypto is, do not put in anything that you cannot afford to lose. Because if you go into something that is as speculative and as uncontrolled as crypto, you should assume you will lose all the money you put in. If you cannot afford to lose the money you put in, you should not be doing it, because it's so volatile and so high risk, the most likely outcome is you lose basically everything. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not to be trusted. If you put that idea to anyone, saying like, well, I heard that you shouldn't put any money in crypto you're not prepared to lose. If they try to gas it up and say like, don't worry about that, that person is not to be trusted. So that's my parting words. Don't trust anyone. People, what a bunch of bastards. But it is, in fact, 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. I thank you, wonderful people, for spending a bit of time with me. I hope you all take care, look after yourselves. Maybe see you another time. Might have some fun stuff to taste and do on Thursday and Friday night. Who knows? It's a mysterious world. But I'll hopefully see you another time. But until then, bye for now. Bye.